Hey YouTube, Untamed here. So today I'm going to do a quicker video just highlighting the wave top comparisons between my 2021 Toyota Land Cruiser Heritage Edition here on the left next to this beautiful 2022 Lexus GX 460. So this is a press vehicle here and my personal one here on the left. So I'll try to remain unbiased as I kind of talk through the differences and comparisons of the two of them here. But bottom line, as many of you guys are fully aware, there's a lot of similarities between these, and the reasons why people tend to gravitate to each of these are a lot of overlapping reasons, right? So they both have tried and true tested V8s, right? So you get the 4.6 liter smaller displacement within the Lexus over there, 4.6 liter V8 cranking out 301 horsepower and 329 foot-pounds of torque. Then you get the glorious 5.7 liter V8 over here in the Land Cruiser, same one that was in the Tundra, a little different, but the same displacement anyway, right? Cranking out 381 horsepower and 401 foot-pounds of torque. So both of them are extremely reliable. We know that at this point. However, both of them are going away, right? So we're doing away with the whole thirsty V8 business, right? Because the emission standards and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. These both are becoming a thing of the past. And I mean, the Land Cruiser already is. The Tundra, right? The same 5.7 liter V8, it's already a thing of the past. They have the Lexus LX600 now, cranking with the, the hybrid twin turbo V6. So a different iteration. The new era is here already among us, right? So these are both last of the dying breed. And I think, people will continue to find these desirable for years to come, no matter what happens to gas prices, right? It's going to skyrocket to $8 a gallon, whatever it is. People will still always have a thing for these, and they'll always be desirable. Between the two of them, I found it fascinating, the sale numbers. So I just looked back the last 15 years, but over the last 15 years, the GX sold roughly 25,000 units per year over the last 15 years. So roughly, give or take a little bit, right, throughout the time there. But that's between the US and Canada. And same over here, it was right around 3,000. So literally 10 times the amount of sales happened for the GX, which kind of blows my mind because, on face value, they're super similar. They're both thirsty V8s. They both get terrible gas mileage, right? You get 16 miles combined in this one and about 15 over here with the 5.7, sometimes worse. But so they're both thirsty V8s. They're both body on frame design, rugged truck-like feel. So they're extremely similar. So I'm surprised that this didn't generate more sales over the last 15 years. And I guess a part of that is Toyota offering X amount, a little bit more limited production for the US, North American market. I guess that's a part of the equation too. But the biggest difference, of course, is the price tags. And I think that is a huge driver. Talking to a lot of people who don't really understand the whole Land Cruiser thing, they're quick to get sticker shock, right? When they look at that price tag, they're like, no, I'm gonna go get a Porsche Cayenne or something. I'm gonna go get a Porsche Macan, right? So they see $89,700 price tag for this, the Heritage Edition, and they're like, no way am I gonna spend 90 grand for a Toyota. It just doesn't sit right for most people, and understandably so, right? A lot of people who do buy this, they like buying it because it kind of flies under the radar. It's not in your face, it's not screaming at you, it's not super flamboyant or anything, and it's just kind of that more subtle nameplate, which why the 3,000 people who buy it each year typically, they like it and appreciate that. Whereas over here for the GX, this is the quote-unquote top of the line. This is the luxury, and that puts it right around 66,000 and some change. Granted, most of the sales are for the lower, lesser trims, I've learned. So like the premium is right around 58,000, and the starting point is just over 56,000 if I recall correctly. So there's a huge gap, right? And that huge gap, that's a ton of money for a lot of folks. So understandably so, this made a lot more sales. Not to mention you get the Lexus nameplate, you get all the additional, at least some additional frills. As a lot of you know, that's not necessarily the case with the GX in particular. You don't get too many additional bells and whistles compared to other like the RX and the other Lexus models. So let me pop in here. Let's do a quick comparison. But a lot of people will come in here and they'll see the premium feel and touches throughout. They get a look at this steering wheel, like the black grain wood trim here on the steering wheel, and this metal-like finish. It just looks and feels premium. It feels more premium than that Land Cruiser over there. If you're just sitting here and feeling all the pieces, it does feel like your money is going into this. You got nice, that dark wood grain finish is pretty sweet. An upgraded infotainment. You get Apple CarPlay in this now, which is a big deal to like 99% of every American. You got captain row seats in the back, which is cool. I like that. But I typically only like that when there is a large third row. So you can, their kiddos can walk through and sit back there, but this is not the case on the GX here. I'll show you back here too. So adjustability. And it being a body on frame design, the third row seats, they sit much higher, right? So I mean, everything is kind of just higher with the body on frame here. It can't really integrate within the actual frame or the body of the vehicle itself, like what you would get in most modern SUVs. So everything just sits higher, if that makes sense. So this here swings outward, you guys know. So kind of cool, kind of like the FJ Cruiser. FJ Cruiser swings out the other way, but not a ton of space back here. Especially when we pop over to that Land Cruiser, you'll see, you have pretty much just enough to hold an office chair and a box. Some cargo, of course, within here. We're not dissecting this. I do like the fact that you got the little popper here. Not as cool as the Tundras, the Sequoia's roll down window, rear window, but still kind of nice, especially if you have the pups and you maybe stop for a break somewhere. You can run into the store and have them out here, assuming they're good dogs, right? They can stay here with their heads hanging out and getting fresh air. So I like that. Let's look at the Land Cruiser real quick. So you guys who frequent my channel, you know exactly what you're looking at. You've already seen this a million times. So I won't totally dissect it in this video, but we'll do what we just did with the GX over here. For starters, you guys know I'm always pretty quick to pop on some more aggressive tires on my Toyotas. I love it when people do it to the GX. It's just, you see it less and less with the newer models, of course. But you get the Dunlop AT23, same ones that actually came on this stock. So those are the same exact tires that come on a Land Cruiser, which is kind of sad, right? It's just not a fitting look. This does have a front leveling kit, you guys know that. But yeah, so these are 285 65 18s. I just love the bronze Heritage Edition wheels. If you're watching this video, you know that they're no longer making this, right? So the Heritage Edition was limited to 1,200 units in 2020 as well as 2021. The magnetic gray metallic here was only offered in 21. Excuse the mess. But this one is showing that we are about that dad life. Black headliner as well. You don't get that in a 4Runner. But this entire system here is not as intuitive and easy to use as that Lexus over there. The Lexus is, super streamlined, I think, in my opinion, very easy to use. I don't like the little touchpad in the Lexus. I didn't really dissect that too much, but I think that is kind of a flop and kind of a dated idea at this point. But outside of this system in here, the integration that requires you to kind of dive deep into this to adjust climate control and all that stuff, I think the interior is perfect when it comes to simplicity. I prefer that black trim, black grain wood trim over there in the Lexus compared to this, what you'd find in your grandma's pantry wood trim over here. Get it on the door too with the memory seats there. Presets. But as you open up the doors on both, sorry guys, this is hashtag real life here, okay? So, you do feel a heavier door, more heaviness to the doors compared to the Lexus 2, which I was kind of surprised about. I thought this was going to feel on par with the Land Cruiser here, but that's not the case. So, fits the 3 kiddos just fine, with plenty of leg room up front there, so no issues when it comes to that. Is it as ideal as the Toyota Tundra, the huge cabin space of my old 2021 Tundra? No, but it's, you know, this is still perfect. Get some of the Heritage Edition accents throughout this one, you guys know. Quick look at the back. I love the fact that this has the split hatch here. I am a huge fan of this. Now, there's been a number of occasions where we just sit out here on the bench here at the tailgate and watch fireworks when we lived in Wyoming out here on my old one. Some good memories have already been made throughout my previous Land Cruisers. So hope to keep this one longer, like you guys know, to make some more long-lasting memories. But a ton of space back here by comparison, a lot more headroom, even compared to the GX over here. The GX is tall, right? I think it's kind of notorious for being tall and skinny, but that skinny bit is really what makes it feel tight when you get in there. So this, you can either push this, but we have it turned off at the moment. Let me grab the right side. So yeah, I was kind of baffled to learn that 10 times more sales for the GX 460 over there. Yeah, and I think largely it just comes down to that price point, being a little bit more realistic. You do have the gas cap on the right-hand side compared to the left-hand side on the GX over there. So all in all, I think it's a win-win. I mean, if you're able to get your hands on a GX 460, you know, be among the last wave of the V8, I think that will only be goodness for future years, in my personal opinion. You know, people always tout the new, you know, turbo variant V6s out there and the hybrid variants. I don't know. I mean, I'm open-minded when it comes to vehicles. I like Tesla, you know, I'm not like the die-hard, oh, it needs to have a V8, no replacement for displacement. But I do think these being so tried and true and tested at this point, it's a comfortable buy and a safe buy to do this. And we know that it will be the case for years to come, if you're okay with paying a little bit more at the pump, but you're paying a lot less time at a shop, right? So there's trade-offs to both. I'm curious to know what you would pick. And also, I'll do a follow-up video on the 4Runner, comparing it to the GX over here. But let me know which one of these you would pick and why. Appreciate you watching as always. Until next time.